Planning to move to Lake Elsinore? Already moving to Lake Elsinore? What the hell is Lake Elsinore? I'm Donald Beamon. I'm a Lake Elsinore real estate agent. I live here, I sell real estate here, and I wrote a 52-page book about Lake Elsinore. I have 5 things I want to share with you guys before you make your move final. I wrote the notes. Number 1, location. Nobody really considers the location of Lake Elsinore. We are actually very centrally located to the mountains, to the beaches, and to Las Vegas. This is what I mean. From Lake Elsinore, if you travel 2 hours north, including traffic, you'll get to San Bernardino Mountains. That's snow, white-capped mountains, great temperature, snow, everything you want when it comes down to the winter festivities. Back to Lake Elsinore, go 2 hours west, you're going to get to Los Angeles beach cities. Los Angeles, Long Beach, Torrance, which will all include Venice Beach, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, Santa Monica. It's awesome. 2 hours from there. That's including traffic. 2 hours south from here, San Diego coastline. You get all the San Diego beaches. Ocean Beach, Pacific Beach, Imperial Beach. You get all the beaches of San Diego just 2 hours south from Lake Elsinore. And then here's the cherry on top. If you go 4 hours east, you get to Vegas, legitimately. Out of state, in a new state, Las Vegas, 4 hours away. This is all accounting for traffic. If you leave during down traffic, you'll get to the mountains in 1 hour. You get to LA in about an hour and a half. You get to San Diego in 1 hour, and you can get to Vegas in about 3.5 hours. Very easy. And if you drive a Tesla, you'll have multiple charging stations along the way. Don't worry about not having enough juice to get to your locations. Next thing, Lake Elsinore is pretty diverse. What I mean by that, we have 3 distinct areas as an umbrella, but there's more areas than this. One area, the Hills District, that includes Tuscany Hills, Canyon Hills, and Rosetta Canyon. All these areas give you actually some natural scenic views to look at, very family-oriented communities, a little newer than the rest of Lake Elsinore. The next area you have new construction areas. The new construction areas will have the Melrose and HOAs will be heavy, but they're new, and not just the construction of the home, new roads, newer schools, newer infrastructure, newer everything. This is where your Melrose tax comes in to help fund these projects. The next area that is distinct in Lake Elsinore is Downtown Historic District. These are not cookie cutter build new construction homes. These are not master plan communities or nothing like that. There's no 2 homes that look alike in the downtown area. You have all kinds of different types of homes. They are historically they represent historical features of the homes. They're a bit older, but you avoid HOAs and Melrose because those are very mature, established neighborhoods. So there is a bonus of that, and it's very walkable because you do have Main Street. And Main Street is one of the main features in downtown Lake Elsinore. Moving on, back to the new constructions. This is a big one. I want to mention the new constructions because here's the thing. Most of the time, we all kind of could work around and get our mind wrapped around a HOA. The next one that is hard to wrap your mind around is the Melrose. Melrose pays for all the new infrastructure for new construction. New construction comes in, builds beautiful big homes, very family-oriented homes. 5-bedroom, 3-bath. The homes are actually priced very competitively. Where it gets people off is that you can be walking into a $200 a month HOA with a $300 to $500 a month Melrose. That's anywhere from $500 to $700 in taxes that do not go towards the house. I want to throw that out there because that is something to consider when you picking and choosing between the two. But here's the thing, if you choose a Melrose, you will have the newer infrastructure. You may even be fire-wise approved neighborhood, which helps with wildfire insurance, etc., etc. You do have advantages with the Melrose, but to have those advantages, you have to weigh the odds against how much it will cost per month. Just keep that in mind. Next, 2026 market. Everybody's always trying to time the market rather than just jumping in. Well, fortunately, anybody that is timing the market, this is the time to move to Lake Elsinore. If you're considering moving to Lake Elsinore, check it out. 2026, we are finally balancing out and sellers are finally negotiating listing price and working with buyers. Doesn't obviously mean you're going to get the offer that you put in, but negotiations are back on the books. This is the time to come in, snag up a home, and move into Lake Elsinore, any of the 3 communities I previously mentioned. And there's a few others. I think about 5 other communities that I didn't go over, like Lakeland, but Lakeland is actually unincorporated. There's a few others. If you're curious about it, reach out to your real estate agent or myself, and I can guide you down a path of where potential locations may be in Lake Elsinore. But this is the time to move in. Homes are sitting roughly about 45 to 60 days on market if priced competitively, or rather if the seller is willing to negotiate, and they are negotiating. Keep that in mind. If you are somebody to time the market, this is the time to come in. Okay, so I can't just talk about the pros and how great Lake Elsinore is in this short video. I'm going to give you 2 cons, legit cons, that cost money out of your pocket. We already talked about new construction, but that's not a Lake Elsinore con. That's just the prices like HOA and Melrose associated to a new construction is not a con to Lake Elsinore. That is what comes with a new construction build home. Here is a financial con to Lake Elsinore. We are in a high fired risk area. Insurance is skyrocketed high. I've seen it everywhere. I watched it. I've seen people come into it. I've seen my neighbors complain about it. I'm hearing anywhere from $300 to $500 a month extra in fire insurance. It is a very high price ticket. That is a con. So if you do move here, one of the things you want to make sure you get straight with your lender in any high fired area. Make sure you factor in fire insurance, Melrose tax, and HOA. Those are the 3 things that can literally add $1,000 a month to a simple $1,600 mortgage. You're coming in thinking, wonderful, $1,600 to move to Lake Elsinore for a 5-bedroom. But then when you tack in HOA, Melrose, and then the con associated here, fire hazard insurance, that's another $1,000 that you may have not been considering, and that will break a deal. Make sure that's brought up. If anything, once again, reach out to your real estate agent or myself, and we could guide you through to make sure you're tidied up and this is a place that you find to be affordable for what you want to do. The other con. Okay, so funny thing is, when I moved here, it wasn't a con. Now it is. The commute. If you're moving here out of the beach cities, San Diego, LA, those are the 2 common areas, or Orange County, stand by. The commute, tremendous, ridiculous. I used to, because when I came in 2018 and then we flowed in 2020 with the shutdowns and everything, I could get from Lake Elsinore to my job back over to Wilmington, 1 hour. That's it. Hour and 10 minutes. 70 miles to drive. That's an hour and 10 minutes going 65. Who goes 65? Not me. That's an hour to commute. 50-minute commute. Life was peachy. In 2026, life is not peachy for a commuter. Don't move here for a 5-bedroom, 3-bath if you're not willing to commute 1.5 to 2 hours one way to your job if you're commuting to the beach cities or Orange County. Keep that in mind. That's one way. You may be in the vehicle 3 to 4 hours a day to get to and from work. If you're already doing an 8-hour job, do the math. That could be up to 12 hours gone. But a lot of commuters, they could usually justify a commute because they're gone so long at work. So a lot of us would be like 12 hours at work. Well, now all of a sudden, when you're gone for 12 hours and then home in 30 minutes, had you stay near your home, near your workplace, that's a 12.5 hour day. You live here, you're talking about a 16-hour day out of your 24 hours. Let's say you get 6 hours of sleep. Do the math. How much time are you going to have to yourself by the time you wake up? Do the math. If you are not willing to pay the fire insurance premium, if you're not willing to do the commute, or a combination of both, Lake Elsinore may not be a choice for you. There's other options. Myself or your real estate agent can help you with the other options. But I want you to know this before you move to Lake Elsinore, because buying a home, you're kind of essentially stuck in it for about 8 years if you want to not break even or lose money on moving out quickly. That could be an 8-year consequence because it wasn't something you considered before moving to Lake Elsinore. I love Lake Elsinore, so I'm still here. I did my commute. I'm working as a real estate agent now to stay in the city. That's how much I like Lake Elsinore. Rather than moving back to the coastline to go get to the jobs that I qualify for in expertise, I changed careers to stay out here. That's how much I love Lake Elsinore in this area. My name is Donald Beamon. I'm with Live Home Group. Brokerage is Link Brokerages. If you have any other questions, reach out to me at 951-397-0993. I'm always a available resource for you. Have a great day.